Hi, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackGear.com, and I'm here today to explain the difference between a full-face helmet that has a drop-down inner screen and one that does not. What is really the difference between a full-face helmet with a drop-down inner screen and one that doesn't have one? I mean, at the end of the day, they're both full-face helmets, right? It's the same product. There are some pretty serious differences that I want to outline so that you're able to discern, first off, do I want one that has the drop-down inner screen, or am I better suited with a traditional full-face? Let's start off with one that's very visual, okay? Ventilation is one of the key features for any helmet. All the brands strive to have good venting helmets that are quiet while riding in, okay, reasonably quiet. When you have a helmet with a drop-down inner screen, you have a pocket that is in between the inner EPS and the outer shell of the helmet where the drop-down inner screen lives when it is fully retracted. For that reason, you won't see helmets with a drop-down inner that have a vent here in the brow area. They need to move everything up much higher. Yes, you're still able to introduce a good amount of ventilation into these helmets, but as compared to, say, the traditional full face here on the other side, both good helmets, but the R710 that has a brow vent, this is just a great way to bring more air into a helmet in that area. So right up front, you lose that. Something else that's really important to understand is visibility while in a tuck. If you're riding a sport bike, right, and that's what we do here, where you would ride the thing in a tuck, say it's an R6 or Gixxer 1000 or any other bike with clip-on bars where you can be in a lower riding position. The brow of the helmet with the drop-down inner screen is actually thicker, right? From the inside of the EPS to the outside of the shell and the gasket. Comparing these two Scorpion helmets, there was almost a full centimeter difference in width. When I put both of these helmets on and kind of simulated a tuck position, this one was obstructing my vision very early, where this one you could get yourself into more of a full tuck and the brow of the helmet is not in the way. That itself is a big deal if you do have a bike that has a set of clip-on bars. And now let's talk safety. I'm not saying this helmet isn't safe, right? But what I will say is you typically don't see helmets with a drop-down inner screen here in the US that are going to have an ECE or a Snell certification. It's more challenging to get the helmets to pass the Snell standard, right, or the ECE standard than it is the DOT standard, okay? When you have this pocket that lives between the outer shell and the inner EPS, that does have an impact on how this manages energy, right, in the event of an accident. Here's a great example, right? We're going to talk about helmets now that are in the much higher, the ultra premium tier that we've got. Arai. Arai won't even produce a helmet that has a drop-down inner screen because they feel it reduces the structural integrity of the helmet and it reduces its ability to protect you, the rider. I want to qualify all this and say, this helmet right here, okay, I still believe this is a good helmet. I've ridden this helmet myself, snowmobiling. My wife's got one. My daughter, Sophia's got one. They're obviously very important people to me, so I still do believe that this helmet has the ability to protect you, but there are differences between the two, and you need to decide what's most important for you while choosing one.